Let's get the read on all of this from Sean Spicer. You obviously remember that name, the former White House press secretary under Donald Trump. Is author of a riveting book, The Briefing, right now, Politics, the Press, and the President. Sean, very good to have you.
Thanks for having me, Neil.
How closely did the president watch in your time with him these economic numbers that come out, whether it's the employment data or GDP? I mean, I know he was fixated on the markets, but it seems like he was fixated on a lot of numbers.
I actually look at it a little differently. I think he is on all of these areas, whether it's healthcare or the economy or trade. He's results oriented, so he looks at all these numbers and tries to figure out what's doing well and what's not doing well. And so the variety of indices and reports are what kind of consume him, because he's trying to figure out what policies will sustain good news and good growth, and what we need to fix and what policies we need to reverse.
So when you see him, and obviously he's with crowds now in Kansas City, Missouri is going to be talking specifically to veterans, but it's a big agriculture community there as well, sending a signal today that he's going to provide support for farmers, not only in that region, but nationally, who might be affected by the upcoming trade war. He does seem to be getting a little concerned that it could boomerang on his base.
Well, look, I think that for many of these, whether it's farmers or people in the services industry or the manufacturing industry who have been adversely affected by trade, for a long time they've been told that they've been forgotten in a lot of cases, or overlooked, or told that things will get better. I think they appreciate the president fighting for them and saying, hey, we might have to have some short-term pain for long-term gain. So you've seen that base stick with him, and I think they continue to want to see what his plan is. So far, they see him pushing back on China and others, where we have a disproportionate area of market access, which is what we see so often, where we agree to a much lower tariff rate than another country does for a similar product. So I think on a variety of these sectors, you're seeing the president say to these folks, I've told you I'm going to do exactly what I said I would do as a candidate, and I'm implementing that plan now, which is I want to get these countries to the table, get those tariffs lowered where you are, if you think about it, 95% of the world's population lives outside the United States. We want to get these consumers to buy U.S. goods, whether it's agriculture, services, or manufacturing, and the president's going to do everything he can to get a greater market access share.
The president, you talk about this, knows very, very well how he is deemed in the press, and certainly to his base and the American public. Maybe to that end, he's continuing to talk about maybe the residual effects of the Putin meeting last week, Sean. But tweeting just a few minutes ago, I'm very concerned that Russia will be fighting very hard to have an impact on the upcoming election, based on the fact that no president has been tougher on Russia than me. They're really pushing very hard for the Democrats. They definitely don't want Trump. What do you make of all that?
Well, look, I think that the narrative that has gotten out there, where you've got a lot of folks who, I think at least perception-wise, are trying to use this Russian meddling that's been going on for decades as a way to seemingly undermine the victory that he had and the support that he has. And so it's a very frustrating thing. Part of the reason I wrote the book, The Briefing, is to give people an understanding of the mindset that we had during the campaign, the transition the first 6 months. But there is this relentless attack on the president from the media and from the left, questioning his motives, not giving him the proper due on so many of the areas where he's gotten results for the American people.
But you think that the Russians were trying to muck around in our elections? Didn't change the results, but you concur with that, right?
I think that from everything that I've seen and read, they've been doing this for decades. So this was nothing unique to the last cycle. I think they obviously used modern technology in a way that they hadn't in previous attempts, but this should be nothing new that Russia's tried to do.
Right. Were you disappointed the president didn't seem, at least publicly, to be more forceful on that issue with Vladimir Putin last week?
I think he did the right thing by making it very clear what his position was, both in the cabinet meeting and then in his subsequent interview with Jeff Glor.
But not with Vladimir Putin?
Well, again, Neil, I think that he said he misspoke,
okay,
and went on to make it clear what his position was, and I take him at his word at that.